President Muhammadu Buhari met for the first time with the 21 Chibok schoolgirls recently released by the militants. He vowed that no efforts will be spared to bring the rest of the girls still missing home.
We shall redouble efforts to ensure that we fulfill our pledge of bringing the remaining girls back home. Already, the credible first step has been taken, and government will sustain the effort until all the remaining girls return safely.
Nearly 300 girls were taken from the school in 2014 in Chibok in northeastern Borno State. Dozens escaped early on, and another was found in May. Last week marked the first negotiated release of any of the schoolgirls.
Aside from rescuing them, we are assuming the responsibility for their personal, educational, and professional goals and ambitions in life. Obviously, it is not late for the girls to go back to school and continue the pursuit.
One of the schoolgirls delivered brief remarks on behalf of the group.
We don't know that we shall come back to be member of Nigeria, but the grace of the Lord show us now we are together. Let us thank God for His love. Okay? After that, let us pray for the rest that's in this semester now. Let God help them to be served together in the name of the Lord. Amen.
But there are those among the girls who might not want to be rescued. According to a community elder in Chibok, about 100 of them wish to stay with their Boko Haram captors. They have either been radicalized, are ashamed to return, or have died. Many of them have been forced to marry the militants. Susan Mungeli, CCTV.
Now let's get some perspective on this developing story. And Silas Kiriinya, a specialist in trauma and radicalization, is joining me here in studio. Silas, thank you. 21 Chibok girls have been released so far, but some of the girls now want to remain with their captors despite the trauma they have been going through. How do we explain this?
Usually, naturally, the way that people respond when they hear such a story is to ask why should these girls think of going back to be with their enemies, with their captors. However, it is important to understand that when somebody is held captive for a long time, it's likely to develop some emotional connection even to the enemies because no one else is there to help them. And therefore, these girls probably they have connected with their enemies, and some of them have gotten married, and some of them are carrying their babies, and therefore they feel like that's the right place for them to be. Also, they may feel it is difficult for them to readjust back to the society because they have been away for so long, and therefore they feel like they cannot live the life that they were living before. Others are experiencing existential crises or issues, and therefore they don't know how to go on with their lives. And I think that could be probably some of the reasons why they are feeling that they should go back to be with their captors.
They've been gone now for 2 years. They've been away for 2 years, but most of them do want to get on with their lives now that they're back home. How do they make up for lost time?
It is important then, therefore, for them at this point, what is required for them is the most basic things. For example, food, shelter, security. That's what they need for now. However, after that, they need to be reunited with their families so that they can go back, eat their mother's food, see their siblings. That actually will help them quite a lot to readjust back to the society. And therefore, if there are those among them who are in school, of course, all of them are in school, then they need to be facilitated for them to go back to the school so that they can continue to pursue their career, their education, so that they feel that they are fulfilled in their lives.
What is the most important thing that needs to be done now for the girls, the ones that have at least been returned back home?
For now, is assure them security, assure them there is a safe ground for them, and then readjust them to their families. And then after that, they need assessment, psychological assessment, whereby they can be assessed to know the extent of the trauma they have been through, how much has it affected them. And they need actually to connect them with maybe mental health psychologists or people who are professionals in issues to do with the trauma, so that they can assess them and find a way of helping them. Because people adjust differently when they go through a traumatic experience. There are those who probably have coped in their own way. There are those probably they were forced to change to Islam religion for them to survive. And therefore, once they changed, once they converted, they felt that they are at home. Others have been radicalized, and therefore they need to be helped as well to indoctrinate them so that they are able to adjust back to the society. And so that therapy is quite important for them. Trauma therapy is important for them. And actually, if those professionals are not available, therefore they can seek help. Maybe even from like us, we can help them. Like Oasis Africa, if we are facilitated, we can go there and help them in this process of readjusting them back to the society.
Right, we'll leave it there. Silas Kiriinya, specialist in trauma and radicalization. Thank you.